Okay, in Elyria High School, we are a club called Pioneer Rising. So we're all future educators. So we're not just students that are like, hey, we don't like our teachers, we need this. We need to be able to have a voice within our school system. And the fact that there are officials that are making decisions for us is not fair because it's our education. We are going to be teaching your children or your children's children. So I think that it's only fair that your future has a voice of what their generation is going to look like.
So about a year and a half ago, we began an initiative to look at how can we involve and entice and motivate students that may want to consider a career in education. I don't think it's any secret that over the last several years, there's been a significant shortage of teachers that are coming out of teacher preparatory colleges and universities in Ohio. And the more we talked, the more we scratched our head and looked at this thing, it made sense that we have our own farm system, if you will, of students here in Elyria. And what better way to begin an initiative but looking at and working with Elyria students that may have an interest that we could nurture over their period here at Elyria High and beyond to pursue a career in education. And if the planets and stars are all aligned right, get them back to Elyria to begin their teaching career. But we're real excited with this initiative. It's a long-term process, so it's not going to be something that will just be a year, but over several years, because you're working with those students certainly, but then you're establishing that relationship and that networking once they leave the four walls of Elyria High and go on and pursue education degrees.
Pioneers Rising really started as a mentoring group for high school students, so we could identify which students were interested in the field of education and really tried to make a relationship with those students and have them see a real life look of what education is behind the doors. Our students really only see us for 45 minutes a day, and it's really hard for them to know what we do on a daily basis. Is this something they're interested in? So we've tried to identify who's interested, and then from there we have different group discussions talking about aspects of teaching and being a student. What does that mean? What is helpful for them? What is not helpful for them?
And like Hannah said, we meet with juniors and seniors twice a month, and then one of those two meetings, the juniors and seniors actually do the meeting. They have to, we've been using TED Talk, and they pick topics, they've chosen topics, and then they lead the discussions on different topics. And some of the topics have included
how to motivate students, what students deal with at home, what stressors.
What makes an ideal teacher, what are the qualities of an ideal teacher.
And even had great discussions on some things that don't motivate students and how to, things to avoid as a teacher that some teachers they've witnessed do or maybe they've heard of, and things like that. We also have sophomores that are involved once a month. They come into our meetings, and our juniors and seniors really are the ones that are leading the discussions with the sophomores there as well. So we're really looking to help the next generation of teachers come up through Elyria High School. We're hoping that they want to return to Elyria in the long run. We're really trying to do our Grow Your Own initiative where we have students come back to Elyria because we understand that this is a hometown. Mm-hmm. People identify with other people. They have relationships with families. They really understand each other.
And they also understand the culture. So when they come back, you know, they will understand, again, the school culture, and having gone through the Elyria schools, hopefully, they'll understand the culture
We recently took a field trip to LCC for a diversity and inclusion forum that was headed by the Urban League in Lorain County. So we had 4 students came with us. We had some administrators and some of our board members came. We sat at a table together. We discussed the different topics. We did some activities and brainstorming on ways that we can include students within our school walls more than they are included now. Students discussed and came up with ideas of being on hiring committees. So if teachers are hoping to get a job in Elyria Schools, we will have Elyria students in the meetings when they are being interviewed. We had students interested in attending board meetings, interested in meeting with superintendents and administration to discuss policies and rulemaking and ways that they can be more involved in their own education.
The field trip at the Spitzer Center was really interesting, and I feel like it gave me and the 3 other students that came with me a chance to talk to our teachers and see them outside of a classroom environment, but not necessarily in a field trip environment either, because we sat down with them, and our principal, Miss Johnson, she was there as well, so we got to see a different side of her as well, and we learned a few interesting things about her. So I think it was really interesting for us to be able to see that different side of our principal and our teachers. So we were talking about including students in the board meetings and then hiring committees, and so I had to get up and present that to the group of people that was there, because it was not just us, it was people in the foster system, healthcare systems, you know, things like that. So it wasn't just Elyria High, but it was everyone in Lorain County. My entire life I wanted to be a teacher. There's no question about it. You know, I have a few doubts here and there, but there's no doubt in my mind that I want to be a teacher. I'm not really sure what grade level, but I know that I don't necessarily want to be a high school teacher. I wanted to be a high school English teacher, and then I got here, and now I'm kind of like, I'm good. So I think I want to work more with the younger kids, 5th grade level, somewhere in there. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that I want to be a teacher.
The teacher that inspired me to become a teacher later on in my future was Miss Hammond. She was my chemistry teacher my junior year, and the way that she taught, it was very hands-on, and it was a great environment for me. It opened up a lot of opportunities in my future that I do want to go ahead and continue with. She understood the students. She took the time with us. She taught in different ways, which was very helpful with our class. There's different students. She helped us out a lot, and she helped me decide what I want to do with my career.
I was actually chosen for this, to be in this group, and I was a little on the iffy side about coming to the meetings because I didn't know what it was going to be about. But once I came, it was a very open atmosphere, and everyone in here was very open with their feelings and how they felt about teachers and students and in their classrooms. And I really like being in this group because everyone is open, and we do have a teacher's perspective, and they talk to us about what they do inside classrooms, and we talk about how we feel about teachers and other students in classrooms. So I really enjoy this being in this group.
I feel like the impact I'll make, I'll have kids enjoy school now, not just be forced to go, actually like going to school. They'll want to learn something, and maybe get them in other programs, maybe sports and stuff like that, and help them in life, everyday life, afterwards. I'd like to teach history and probably middle school, 7th and 8th grade.
I've learned that it's not so easy being a teacher, and that we can empathize between students and teachers. I've also learned it's important to discuss diversity in a classroom. If you don't really discuss diversity, you don't really have an understanding of each other. And it's nice to know each other in a classroom, because it can kind of be confusing if you don't really know anyone in a new environment.